Y'all see the attire? Big shout out to the Lone Stars over there. Thanks, man. Nice shirt, man. I'm liking it. Okay guys, good morning. It is Monday morning, and y'all know, man, we back at it, y'all. We had a good time at the GIE, but now it's time to get the grind back down, wrap this season up, and get focused back on the things that that make it possible to go to the GIE, right? So So I really don't know what I'm going to talk about today. It's been a minute since I've done a video in the truck like this. So we're just going to have to kind of, whatever, you know, comes up, you know. We got a big list. We got a lot on the list today. I got a few things outside the box that we're going to have to take care of today. Number one thing is, well, the list, of course. Number two is we're going to have to get Zach a phone. So that's going to cost some money there, probably at least $100 or $200. Now, Zach will pay the phone back, but, you know, I'll work with him, you know, best I can. But he's going to have a phone. So that's going to be the number one thing other than the work that we get taken care of today. Because we get into the off season for me, and you know, I don't know how everybody else does it. For me, we don't work as regular, of course, as we do in the summertime. So that's what I do when I excuse me. But that's what I do when I buy gloves all the time. And I just buy the Home Depot, you know, these kind of gloves. Firm grip gloves from Home Depot. And I usually just buy the extra large ones. And you get 3 pair for like $10 or something like that. So every time I go to Home Depot, I buy a 3-pack. And then over time, you build them up like this. And then what I do is you know, 2 or 3 times a year, I'll get all the gloves together. I'll round them all up. We try to keep them in one place, but that don't never work. And then I'll wash all the gloves. So all these gloves are clean, been washed. And then as we're using them, we'll throw them away if they got holes in them and blah, 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 you know. So, yeah. Zach's already gotten started. He was on time and everything, so you know, and not having no phone, and I don't know how he's working out the ride thing, but okay, cool, you know, as long as it's not affecting me. I know that today we're gonna try to do a lot of work. Now, you know, this time of year, not a lot of weed eating or any of that kind of thing. It's all just well, it's really blowing. The way I do the yards this time of year, now there's not a lot of leaves have not fallen yet because it's been so dry. You know, but there are some. What I do is I blow first. You know, I don't just hop on a mower like I would in the summertime or weed eat or whatever, because you know, 80% of these yards today, 90%, we're not going to have to weed eat anything. Maybe just a little bit on, you know, if we were weed eating for 10 or 15 minutes on a property in the middle of the summer, we might be weed eating for 5 minutes now. Not no weed eating. It's more just clean the yards up, because the Bermuda grass is not growing. And since we haven't had any rain, the trashy grass ain't growing either. So, you know, yeah. It's gonna be a beautiful day though. Right now it's 48 degrees, so that's pretty warm compared to what my guys up north are feeling. So yeah. So I appreciate all the comments on the last few videos. The GIE videos were well. I want next year. I'm gonna go again next year, but I'm gonna be a lot more organized. You know, I was not organized enough to get a lot of good footage. See, I could have got a lot of good footage because, well, I was there early. I mean, it wasn't like, you know, I was, you know, not there. I mean, I was there at 8 o'clock every day. You know, I could have been one of the first ones in the door, and I could have interviewed a lot of these manufacturers and stuff, you know, the mowers and stuff. And, you know, I saw that as I learned, you know, as I watch other people do videos, right? So I'm seeing the other videos, and some of the guys on there are doing really good interviews with the Milwaukee rep. And one guy did a really good video over the Milwaukee push mower, battery powered push mower, you know. And I know there's a lot of flack about battery powered stuff. But look, y'all, I'm telling y'all, I think, and you know, I still prefer gas stuff. But the battery powered stuff is coming a long way. It's coming right along, y'all. Right along. So, yeah, it's not, I mean, it ain't going nowhere. So, as they get better at it, and, you know, the only thing I got to compare it to is the Milwaukee stuff that I got. And I'm telling you, you know, the Milwaukee battery power pole saw hedge trimmers and all that, the M18 stuff, dude, I like it. Of course, it's not as powerful as the gas powered steel hedge trimmers, you know, but I mean, for the price, and that's all Zach likes to use, is the battery powered Milwaukee extended pole hedge trimmers, articulating hedge trimmers, you know. So, and I don't mind using them either. Y'all know I got the small set too, and they still work. So I know there's a lot of people out there that don't believe in the battery power stuff yet, but I mean, I'm a half believer. I still like, you know, gas powered stuff better, you know, because that, well, I don't know if it's because that's what I'm used to or because of quality or whatever. But I mean, I really see a time where the battery powered stuff, now I don't know about the mower thing yet. I don't know about battery powered mowers, but I'm telling you, if these big manufacturers are starting to push out these battery powered mowers, there's something, that means there's something to it, because it takes a lot of development and a lot of money they have to dedicate to these mowers. The design and everything, longevity and all that, to you know, to get them to market. Now, I don't know if they're there yet, but the price is way too high if you ask me right now. But I think all that's going to go down. I mean, that one mower over there, the Skag mower, I think it was a V-Ride or equivalent V-Ride, commercial build, you know, with the battery, was $30,000. I just don't know that a stand-on mower is worth $30,000 no matter what it's running on. And of course, you know, the steel people, I mean the Skag people, they gonna come at you and they gonna tell you that they're gonna pull a calculator out and they're gonna tell you the numbers, you know. But at the end of the day, you got $30,000 initial price tag for something so new. That's just a lot for me to spend anyway. When know I got proven, gas powered stuff. So, but I mean, you got to admit that there is a lot of companies, especially at the GIE event or the Expo event, whatever you want to call it. I mean, they're pushing battery powered stuff. And why would they do that? Curious. If they didn't really believe in it. See, I believe they believe in it. And yeah, I believe that the battery powered stuff is going to eventually take off. And when it does, I mean, it's already starting to take off. I mean, for instance, Makita, world-renowned, one of the best, hand tool builders ever, really, that I know of. They build top quality stuff, and I tell you what, their battery-powered hedge trimmers, they are freaking top-notch, But you got to have the battery line. See, once you commit to a battery-powered thing, then if you're not smart about how you do things, then you will spend a lot more money in the short term anyway. That's why y'all see I go with Milwaukee, because Milwaukee has such a huge line of hand tools and drills and saws and all this stuff, impacts and everything, that the same battery will run, because the battery is where the money's at. So if I were to get a battery powered mower, what would it be? It would have, a battery powered push mower. It would have to be the $1,000 Milwaukee 21 inch. It would have to be, because I got Milwaukee everything else. And for the $1,200, I think it's $1,200. They said $1,000, but it's $1,200. But for the mower, 2 12 batteries, 12 amp hour batteries, big boy batteries, and the quick charger, and of course the mower, $1,200. Well, hell, I bet 2 of them damn batteries is $400. So we can turn our head and not look at the battery powered stuff. But I think you're gonna have to eventually, and they're really trying to develop it, and they're putting a lot of resources at it. So, there's a lot to be said about that right there, man. Why would they, if it wasn't something that, And one other thing that I noticed at the Equipment Expo too is there's a lot of, I don't want to say no-name brands, no name where I live at, but there's a lot of brands out there that are a little bit smaller, a lot smaller than Skag, Exmark, and Wright, and there's some off brand, like Bad Boy. Bad Boy is a smaller brand, but I gotta say, man, the Bad Boy mowers look pretty freaking good to me, especially if you get 12 tires on them, yeah. So I think that as these smaller companies come out and they're building these higher quality machines for a lower price. I mean, you get Exmark, you get Skag, and you get Ferris, and you get Hustler, and you get all these top brands, right? And they build a high quality build, and then you get some of these off brands, even some that I don't even know the name of, where they got the same, the mower looks the freaking same, except for it don't have Skag on it, or it don't have, Exmark on it. And it's like $5,000 cheaper. I mean, the Exmark mowers now, yeah, I mean, I don't see me spending $20,000 on a zero-turn 60-inch mower. I just don't, man. I mean, I don't know. I don't see me doing that, dude. That just seems like way too much money when you got all these other ones that are a little bit cheaper. I mean, I wouldn't be afraid to buy a bad boy mower as long as I can get wheels for it. I wouldn't be afraid to buy one. I certainly wouldn't be afraid to buy a Hustler, you know. Now I'm talking about commercial line stuff. I'm not talking about any of the homeowner stuff. And y'all know I already like Ferris, but Ferrises are expensive just like Exmark Skag and Hustler. But bad boy mowers, I mean, I was looking at, in one of my videos the last couple of days, I showed y'all one. It's like 38 horsepower and it's $13,000. You're not gonna get a Skag or an Exmark of the equivalent for $13,000. The Exmark's gonna be 18 or 19. The Skag's probably gonna be 16. So you're talking about a $4,000 or $5,000 difference. And you know, if you are just starting out, then you know, I mean, if you got a dealer, it's all about the dealer too, you know. If you don't have a dealer, and parts availability, you know. One thing about the Skag and the Exmark in my area, they're supported really good by the dealers. I mean, parts are readily available for every. Now the newer Exmarks, now if you got one of the brand new Exmarks, like, you know, that just came out in the last year or so, then parts are always hard to get for the newer mowers. Always harder to get. But for the mowers like I got, you know, one of them's what, 4 years old, 3 years old. The other one's 10 years old almost. I mean, I don't see me spending 20K on a new Exmark, so I'll run these until the brakes come off of them. I will. I have to. But I believe that all the competition in the mower game, all these other smaller manufacturers, they're seeing, you know, how much money's in the game. And you know, Exmark and Skag and the top ones, they've been making all this money because they're the only ones that make the top mowers. But see, now that you got all these other companies coming in, making mowers for, you know, 25% cheaper, you know, you got to look at that when you're talking about a $20,000 60-inch lawnmower. I mean, $20,000, you could almost, I mean, you might be able to buy two. I know you could buy two bad boy stand-on mowers. And yeah, and I don't know how much the Hustlers were, but Hustler is, you know, that's right up there. They're expensive. They're not 20 grand. Exmark's going to be the most expensive mower that I know of. Now I might be wrong, but Exmark is they're the most expensive, and then Skag's right there behind them. And you know, and Wright mowers ain't cheap either, you know. And there's even some manufacturers that are even smaller than, you know, bad boy, but you don't know what you're getting, right? You just have to look at the build of it, because if you've been doing this in this game as long as I've been in this game, I mean, I can make a mower last a lot longer now than what I could when I started, because I know how to milk the machine, if you will. So yeah, but me and Zach, we got a lot to do today, and like I said, we're gonna have to get him a phone. So they don't open till 10. And there's one right, I looked it up before we left, there's one right on the way over here. So and a lot of these customers might try to bail out on me. I tried to call a couple of them and they didn't answer last night. But we're over here doing some anyway. So we got about 13 on the list, I think, but I figure probably 2 or 3 will bail, you know, and that's okay. You know, I'm okay with that. A lot of these yards are not even going to need it. And one good thing about it is I can just about pick and choose which ones I want to do, you know, because all the leaves are still in the trees, man. We have very little leaves on the ground. So that's gonna, we're losing money, man. We're losing money, and I'd be worried if I weren't good with my money in the summertime. You know, you got to be preparing for this kind of thing all the time. I'm always preparing for all of this. So I'm gonna get down here on the street here and pull up to these yards here. There's 3 right here that we do, and you know, and some of the customers, they just they want me to keep coming no matter what. And all right, y'all, so that's 2, but we're not even gonna do this one. Well, it doesn't really need it, man. So we're gonna go get him a phone, man, because I can't even communicate with him now, and I'm not liking it, man. So we're gonna go over here to the Cricket cell phone place and go on and figure out this phone thing. So every time we're on this route, he seems to have a hard time going the way I ask him to go, so I'm having to resort to, well, and he don't have a phone, so he don't even have GPS. So no GPS, man. Zach, boy, Zach's gonna, yeah, but it ain't gonna cost Zach nothing. It'll cost me, because you know the truck will be running and having to turn around and all this stuff, man. You need GPS, man. So we're gonna go deal with this phone thing. It's 10 o'clock. So yeah. All right, y'all. All right. So took us about 30 minutes there. Now, I tell you what, he got a pretty good deal if everything pans out. So he had insurance on the phone, so he only had to pay the bill, which you're gonna have to pay that no matter what, which was $75, and then he had to pay another $10 to file the insurance claim, and the phone will be coming to his house tomorrow. So I mean, you can't hardly get no better than that, you know. Yeah, it's pretty good, really. We had some ad lib, so we ended up doing my regular customers and her neighbors in the hospital, and she asked me if I would do the neighbors too. So we made an additional 80 bucks. So it took us about, I don't know, I did it by myself. It took us about 40 minutes. So, but Zach was doing this one at the same time, so we spent about 40 minutes over here, about an hour over here total on both of these properties, and we got 150 bucks. So, yeah, we're gonna be working a little bit later today, though. It's late, man. Damn, I didn't realize how late it was. But I was moving this stick, man. I got off the mower and I grabbed this stick, and man, something pulled and something snapped in my shoulder, man. I don't know what the hell, dude. It's ugly, man. That shit hurts, boy. It's a big limb that fell. Yeah, that shit hurts, man. But we're doing pretty good. I mean, you know, we're making good money. And like I said, we did have to stop and get him a phone. So if we hadn't had to do that, it'd be, you know, well, it'd be, you know, 12:15. We'd be right on point then. But we're gonna be all right, because the next one, he's going to do one in the country club, and so am I. Both of them are 80s. It's another 160. We're gonna be at right around what, about $800, something like that. But you know, this time of year, man, you got to be a little bit, well, you got to be thinking about what you're doing. Well, you always got to be thinking about what you're doing, but this time of year, you really got to be thinking about what you're doing, because, you know, with the leaves and all, and we just continue to do the yards until the leaves are down. Well, you can't get too wrapped up in blowing. Zach's blowing off the whole yard, and I'm thinking, well, I'm telling him, dude, you don't have to do that. Blow out the cubby holes, cut everything with a lawnmower, and then blow it, and then to give your final blow off. You ain't gotta blow it hardcore to begin with. It takes way too much time, man. You know, you gotta be smart. I mean, I hate that. It sounds easy, you know, but you gotta be thinking about what you're doing when you got a backpack blower on. If you don't want to blow it at the same place 3 or 4 times, I just want to be efficient, man. That's all. That's all. Just efficient. Because we make more money when we're efficient, and we don't work as hard when we're efficient, and it's not as bad on the equipment when we're efficient. The bottom line is much better when we're efficient. And it does take a few trips to change your thinking concept, right? Like, I know that I can go do this one right here. First thing I'm gonna do is I'm gonna get out of the truck, I'm gonna grab the blower, I'm gonna make sure it's got fuel in it, and I'm gonna go to the backyard. And once I blow that back out, that porch and everything out, that's all I gotta really do. The rest stuff is mower work. You wanna be on a mower ASAP. You know, you don't want to be manually walking through these yards blowing if you don't have to. You want the mower. I mean, you're never more efficient than when you're on a lawnmower. At least not the mower, you know, with the mowers I got anyway. I can't speak for nobody else. But you're not going to be more efficient doing anything in the lawn, you know, mowing than when you're on a mower. That's the most efficient you can possibly be. So that's what we want. We want the mowers to do all the work that they can. And if we're steady blowing off the middle of a yard when we got to mow it anyway, that don't make no sense to me. So, you know, and I don't get a lot of leaves, and we don't do leaf. Well, I mean, I'll do whatever folks are paying me to do, you know, but I don't. None of my customers have big leaf cleanups, you know. So now this one right here, there's going to be a lot of debris on the back porch and all. But see, once I go on the back porch and blow it out, and you know, that's I won't even have to run a mower in the backyard. It's really about blowing this time of year, you know. But I'll blow right around the house, just get everything away from the house, and then I'm gonna get on a mower. Now on this property right here, if it's a whole lot of leaves in the middle of the yard, then as I'm walking across the yard to the backyard with the blower running, then I'll blow those leaves towards the designated area that I want to take the leaves anyway. You know, as I'm walking, I'm not gonna stand out there and make a special trip or nothing, but as I'm walking, we'll, you know, because the BR 700 blower, it'll blow, you know, pretty good as I'm walking. So, you know, you just got to be efficient when you're out here to make good money, to me. But who wants to be inefficient? Nobody does. I mean, what the hell? Nobody wants to be inefficient. I want to be as efficient as I can. And I know over here on this corner right here, there's usually a lot of leaves. See, and that'll be easy for me to see. So I'm gonna put the GoPro out here, and y'all can kind of see how I do this yard right here. Now we understand. There's a couple things that we understand about the yards we're doing today. The number one thing I do is I look up in the trees. We know leaves are coming down, nothing I can do about it, right? So there ain't no sense in doing a hardcore cleanup. We'll do that after all the leaves fall. We're just gonna maintain everything. Now, what I want to do on this one, since there's a lot of leaves on the ground, on this one side right here, then what I'll do is I'm walking through the backyard, I'll blow those leaves toward the way I need them to go. So then when I get on the mower, that's just less I gotta blow, because I use the mower as a blower. So now what I do too is this time of year is if they were paying $80 on the regular lawn maintenance for the summertime, it's $90 today. Or if it's, I add an extra $10 on for it takes, because it takes longer. It just does. Sometimes it don't take, well, it appears to take longer, and it can take longer. It don't take me longer, just saying. It doesn't. So I'm gonna set the GoPro up somewhere. I don't know. Zach's doing a good job today. Zach, he found a dog collar. They've been having some problems with this. Well, there's a $500 dog collar, you know, one of those with one of those things on it, and they couldn't find it. It's in the yard somewhere, and they texted me saying, "I hope please tell Zach to watch out for it because we can't find it. We don't want to run over it." It's $500. You know, it's one of them electronic dog collars or whatever. But then she texted me just a minute ago and said that Zach found it. So I think they're gonna break a little bread with him. Probably throw him a little bit of bread. So the lady, y'all get this, man. So the lady where Zach found the dog collar, she's giving him $50. Y'all believe that, man? Good for him, dude. She's sending it to me. She said, "I want to pay extra. You know, I wasn't there." So that's going to take off the some of the money that we had to spend on the phone this morning. Good for him, man. Hey, she texted me and said she's going to send you $50, man. Freaking, that's awesome, dude.
No, right?
Man, dude.
Yeah, that's my phone bill, basically.
I mean, that's $50 is $50, man. Fuck, dude. I wish I'd have found it. Damn.
Yeah, that's what I get for blowing.
Yeah. Yeah, and she said she gonna cash at me.
Sweet. So
Y'all know what it is, mate. It's Sammy Monday. Peace out.